Hi, I'm Timothy Koh, and I'm the director of A Doll's House Part 2.
Hi, I'm Lim Kay-Siu, and I play Torvald in A Doll's House Part 2.
Hi, I'm Kukathas, and I play Nora in A Doll's House Part 2.
"15 years ago, Nora left her family, her husband, and her home. A Doll's House Part 2 is about the consequences of one woman's action on the rest of her family. So it's about motherhood, marriage, childhood, all of that stuff in one 90 minutes play. So what did you think when you first read the script of Doll's House 2?
I was going to do my homework and be a good actor, a good boy. So I said, I'll take it easy though, I won't pressure myself into it. So I started reading it and I couldn't put it down. It just was that engaging. I was so surprised.
You know, in Doll's House Part 1, at the end of the play, the very famous slamming of the door shut, so Nora leaves her husband, and you have A Doll's House Part 2 where she's come back. So it's so intriguing. So when I started reading it, it's like, well, what did she come back for?
In Doll's House 1, Nora is called, she's the doll. She's seen as a doll, right? The whole play, Torvald treats her as a doll, and it's stifling, and it's cruel, and it's patronizing, and it's condescending, and that's why she decides to leave. So it's quite interesting to see when we start now, this play, 15 years later, what are they like? We've discussed how the idea of a woman leaving her husband, her children, her home, in the 19th century is such a radical act. It is so unimaginable.
You know, I think a lot of the time when husbands leave their wives, people don't feel so sorry for the wives. They think, okay, that happens. But if a woman leaves a man, leaves a husband and children, people feel much more sorry for the man. Oh, it's terrible, what she did was awful. What kind of mother would do such a thing? What kind of wife would do such a thing? You're much more of a monster.
Yeah. And recently on Chinese social media, there was this like 50-something-year-old Chinese woman who just got in a car and like left her family. And she just kind of drove off, and like a lot of women look to her and are inspired by her strength and her bravery to decide to leave the marriage that wasn't working for her. And it's become like kind of like a social media like phenomenon, you know. There are people who are stuck in marriages they don't want to be stuck in. And Nora choosing to leave is one, and this Chinese woman is another person. It's really, really fascinating that over 100 years later, some of these issues are still so pertinent.
Torvald had a certain version of love, of what he thought was love, and that was providing. It's so male, and it's very old-fashioned, but I think it still exists in this day and age, where men think their role is to provide, and that is love.
Mm-hmm. And the woman's role is to nurture.
And to nurture and foster the love that's in his mind,
Yeah.
which is odd. I think I'm that kind of mind sometimes too. And I have a wife who is very spirited also, you know? And will tell me, look, you're not looking at me, you're not listening to me, you're not seeing who I am. So that's a good thing, because she does say it. Unfortunately, in A Doll's House, the conversation never began.
Yeah.
And that is the tragedy of what that first play was about. Yeah.
So can they resolve it?
Yes.
Can they resolve it?
Because there needs to be a conversation. That's why there's a part 2, you know?
So actually it's quite interesting that we're doing a play about marriage, and Kay-Siu, you are acting in this play, and your wife, Sui Lin, is also in this play, but she is not playing your wife in this play.
Yeah, it's so interesting, because when I read the play, it's about the marriage, which made me think of me and Sui Lin, but she's playing Anne-Marie, who is this character who brought up Nora as a child. And when Nora leaves, she stays and brings up my children or our children. So Anne-Marie has a more, if you like, more direct role in this play, in that she's kind of a warm person who believes in love very much, no matter what. And yet, ironically, although she stays and looks after this family, there's other aspects of what she did to her own family. It really enriches the play quite a lot. You know, in this play, she stayed with me, so I have a warmness with her. Mm-hmm. So I can use our own relationship in that in many ways. So that's lovely, although she doesn't play my wife in this play.
I think this play is incredibly challenging for the performer because there is nothing to hide behind. There's no business that you can do, there's no like fun costume changes, there's no You are on, you are with your other actor, you have each other, and like that's it. You have yourselves, your bodies, and your words. And I think it kind of like strips us down to that point of like, this is drama.
A Doll's House Part 2 runs at Victoria Theatre March 7th to March 23rd.
Come and watch it.